The Hoot and Holler Hat Dance, a folktale from Ghana, retold by Laura S. Sassi. Anansi the spider was once very handsome, with 8 long legs, a round belly, and a stunning head of hair. He was also very greedy and hoarded everything in sight. Alas, his never-ending appetite eventually cost him his hair. It happened at harvest time. "Make yourself useful, dear, and go and help your mamma pick corn," Anansi's wife said to him one morning as he lounged lazily in his web. "Ugh," Anansi groaned, for the mere mention of work made his tummy growl. Nevertheless, he grabbed his hat and started slowly on his way. To his dismay, the path was hot and dusty, and tasty tidbits were few and far between. Only the thought of Mama's delicious bean stew kept him going. By the time he arrived, all he could think about was spicy beans simmering in Mama's famous stew. "I want to eat," he hollered as he pushed open the gate. "Not until you finish picking the corn," Mama explained. Then, handing him a basket to fill, she scurried back to the kitchen. Soon, the field was filled with the aroma of Mama's beans and onions. To his credit, Anansi tried to ignore the smell. First, he turned this way. Then he turned that. Still, the wonderful fragrance swirled all around him. "I must eat," he panted, putting down the basket. Just then, Mama crossed the field with a calabash bowl. "Stew at last," he rejoiced, as he gulped his first mouthful. Then he spat, for it was only water. "We'll feast when you finish," Mama scolded. But Anansi could bear it no longer. When Mama disappeared, he dashed into the kitchen. The bean stew hissed and bubbled in the pot. Anansi cried. In seconds, he was greedily guzzling spoonful after spoonful. But little spoonfuls were not enough. "I want more," he belched. Yanking off his hat and turning it upside down, he filled it to the brim. Just then, he spotted Okra the cat. "Uh-oh," Anansi yelped, quickly popping his bean-filled hat on his head. Then he smiled the handsomest smile. "Greetings, Anansi," Oakley purred politely. "What are we doing here?" "Just helping dear old Mama with the harvest," Anansi replied, with syrupy sweetness. But he didn't feel sweet. He felt hot. So hot it hurt. He shook his hat a little, but the boiling beans still burned. He shook his hat a little faster, but the stew still scalded. He jumped, he danced, he jiggled his hat. Still, the beans burned hotter and hotter. Sensing a commotion, Cramin the dog appeared. "What's wrong with you?" he woofed. "Nothing," Anansi hollered. "Don't you know it's hat-shaking day?" "Never heard of it," Cramin barked. "Why, yes," Anansi shouted, shaking his head faster and faster. "It happens once a year. Hat-shaking day? Hat-shaking day." Anansi sang, hooting and hollering down the path. Finally, he could stand it no longer. With one final howl, he ripped off his hat. Okra and Cramin roared with laughter as beans and onions spilled everywhere. Soon, the birds and bugs joined in, for greedy Anansi was quite a sight. The beans had completely burned off his hair, leaving him bald as a corn kernel. Alas, his hair never grew back. That's why to this day, Anansi shuffles in shame through the grass, where no one can see his big, bald head.